Howdy howdy, this is Notion 101 course overview. And the way that this course is structured is it shows you in the beginning what the course is about, any prerequisites that you need, how to use the course, and the estimated completion time. As we're going along, we'll see that there are 5 chapters moving in sequential order, starting from an intro. What even is Notion? Why does it matter? And what are its capabilities? Moving over to a Notion account. How does your account work? What is a workspace? And how do I find my settings to make it look like mine? Moving over to, it starts with a page, basic on-page navigation, how to use blocks, and basically the principles that you need to make sure your organization system never fails. Ending off with a Notion Database Power Hour. We're just going to call that Database Power Hour, where we go into the principles that make databases powerful, the properties, the views, and all that stuff that goes into it, where by the end of this course, following along, they will have a completely ready-to-use task manager that they built themselves, followed off with some closing tips, where to go, troubleshooting, and any bonuses that we want to include. So if we move into the actual chapter format, they all look pretty much the same. We have chapters and subchapters. A chapter is going to be basically an overview of what's going on in the subchapters, and we have an exercise that you're supposed to use as you're going through those subchapters. Each subchapter has an activity that expands on that to be sure that by the end of the lesson or by the end of the chapter, you've accomplished what that exercise is. So going over the content, we see that the first thing that we have is a topic, what this is about, how long it should take, and any prerequisites. You kind of see that same thing again. Outcome by the end, you have a basic understanding of Notion's features and how to set up your own account. So then you put the learning goals, where if going through this, you should be able to come back, understand the core capabilities of Notion, be able to set up and navigate your own, and familiarize yourself with foundational structures XYZ. So move that into key concepts covered, any definitions that they need to know going forward. Because this is in its own database, we can essentially create those definitions and link them to a different page or anything like that. Here are the exercises. By the end, you're going to create your account, explore Notion's capabilities, and customize your profile. This summary sets the foundation for the entire course, and here are the subchapters within it, as well as all of the chapters and progress. So if we go into the chapter 1.1, you'll be able to see that the progress updates when we update to done. We're not done yet, so we're going to move that over to in progress. And when we get onto the page, we're going to see a similar format, but a little bit different, where it goes over the objective of this subchapter, why it's important specific to the overall chapter, key concepts again, definitions again. But then we go into a full concept explanation, where we do a deep down breakdown of what goes into this specific subchapter. When we get it up to the point where there's AI videos, we can put that in the example. And for right now, we put the video over in the example section, or any demos or PDFs that would go over in the example section. Scrolling down, once they get done with all of this, they'll have an activity to accomplish with a summary as well, followed by an interactive quiz to be like, did you actually learn it? You learned it. So there's nothing fancy about this. They just check it off, and when they get done going through, they open up the answers and see how they did. It's basically that way all the way through, where we have chapters and subchapters, all the way through the levels of Notion. So we get done with chapter 1, and you can see that chapter 1 progress updates. That's about it for Notion 101 course structure. The content will be included in the course.